HOA president removed the widow's ramp, then media showed up. Nobody understood why Mrs. Eleanor Briggs was crying on the sidewalk at 6:12 in the morning, still in her house slippers, staring at a pile of broken wood and twisted metal where her wheelchair ramp used to be. The removal crew was already packing up. The HOA president stood there with a clipboard, nodding like she'd just completed a landscaping upgrade instead of dismantling the only safe way a grieving widow could enter her own home. And when Eleanor asked the one question that froze everyone within earshot, the president smirked and said, "You should have followed the rules." What nobody knew yet, what she didn't know yet, was that 3 cameras were already recording. A neighbor had made one phone call, and within 48 hours this quiet street would have news vans, lawyers, and a board emergency vote that would end a presidency overnight. Stay with me, because this one gets uncomfortable fast. And if you like stories where power trips collapse in public, tap subscribe now, because this channel brings you the real HOA meltdowns they wish nobody saw. Eleanor Briggs had lived in that house for 31 years. Same blue shutters. Same rose bushes. Same wind chime that sang off-key when storms rolled in. She and her husband built their life there. Raised 2 kids there. Buried a dog in the backyard there. Then 3 months ago, her husband Daniel died after a long battle with lung disease. Vietnam veteran. Quiet man. Fixed everything with duct tape and patience. After the funeral, Eleanor had a stroke. She survived, but walking became dangerous. Stairs became impossible. Her doctor recommended a wheelchair ramp immediately. Her son paid for it. Proper permits. Licensed contractor. Installed clean and neat along the side of the porch. Painted to match the house. It took one afternoon. It took the HOA 5 weeks to complain. The letter said, "Unapproved structural alteration, remove within 14 days or face daily fines." Her son submitted the paperwork. No response. Submitted again. No response. Called. No return call. Then came the fines, $50 per day, stacking quietly like falling dominoes. Eleanor didn't even understand what the letters meant. She kept them in a kitchen drawer under old coupons and church bulletins. Then came the morning of the removal. No warning knock. No final notice taped to the door. Just trucks. Metal clanging. Drills whining. She woke up to the sound of her independence being unscrewed from the house. By the time she reached the door, 2 men were halfway done. "I'm sorry, ma'am," one of them whispered, not making eye contact. "We were told it's unauthorized." She kept saying the same sentence over and over. "I need that to get to my doctor." The HOA president, Vanessa Cole, arrived 10 minutes later wearing running shoes and authority-like armor. Mid-40s. Perfect hair. Smile that never reached her eyes. "This is a compliance action," she announced to no one who asked. A small crowd gathered, neighbors pretending to check mail for 20 straight minutes. Eleanor asked if they could wait until her son arrived. Vanessa flipped a page on her clipboard and said, "You've had your notice period." "I had a stroke," Eleanor replied softly. Vanessa shrugged. "Rules don't change for personal situations." That sentence would later be replayed on 3 news stations. Because across the street, a retired schoolteacher named Harold was filming from his upstairs window. And Harold didn't just film. Harold uploaded. But here's where the story twists. What Vanessa didn't know, what nobody on that board bothered to check, was that the ramp approval request had actually been granted 3 weeks earlier. Approved. Stamped. Logged. And misfiled by the HOA management company. Buried in a digital folder labeled incorrectly. Meaning the removal wasn't just cruel. It was illegal. And it gets worse. When Eleanor tried to step down from the porch without the ramp, using her walker, she slipped. Not a dramatic fall. Not a movie fall. The quiet kind. The kind that makes everyone gasp at once. She hit the step and cried out, not loudly, but with the sound of someone who already lost too much this year. Vanessa stepped back, not forward. Didn't help. Didn't touch her. Didn't even kneel. Just said, someone should call her family. Not an ambulance. Her family. Remember that detail. Because viewers later did. If you're still here, you already know this story isn't ending quietly. Subscribe now, because what happens next is exactly why people binge HOA stories. The video hit a local community Facebook group first. Then a disability advocacy page shared it. Then a veteran support group noticed Daniel Briggs' memorial flag beside the broken ramp debris. Within 18 hours, it crossed 200,000 views. Comments exploded. Name the HOA. Who is that woman? Is this ADA violation? Lawyer up. By the next morning, a local reporter knocked on Eleanor's door. She almost didn't answer, because she couldn't safely get down the steps anymore. The irony burned. The segment aired that night. Widow's medical ramp removed by HOA, hours before doctor appointment. Vanessa watched it from her kitchen. Her phone started vibrating halfway through the broadcast. Board members. Neighbors. One sponsor threatening to pull funding from the community event she chaired. Then came the email that changed everything. Subject line. Ramp approval, confirmed, internal error. Sent accidentally to the entire board. Attached, time-stamped approval document. Vanessa had authorized demolition of a legally approved medical access structure. Without verification. Without final review. Without compassion. Emergency HOA meeting, attendance record high. Residents who never showed up before filled every seat. Harold played the full video. Uncut. Including the fall. Including the sentence. Rules don't change for personal situations. Silence followed. Then anger. Not loud, controlled, the kind that removes people from power. A motion was raised to suspend Vanessa pending investigation. It passed before she finished saying, "This is out of context." But the real shock came last. A regional disability rights attorney offered Eleanor full legal representation, pro bono. The HOA insurance company recommended immediate settlement. Ramp rebuilt, upgraded, permanent, covered. Medical transport funded for a year. Formal public apology required. Vanessa resigned before signing it. But Eleanor, soft-spoken, grieving, tired, said something on camera that made the reporter pause. "I don't want revenge," she said. "I want people like me to be seen before the rulebook." The clip went viral again. Different reason. Different emotion. And neighbors, the same ones who watched silently that morning, built her a garden beside the new ramp. With a plaque. For Daniel, who built for others. Now we build for Eleanor. Stories like this don't make HOA brochures. But they make reality. If this one hit you, subscribe, because the next story involves an HOA fine that triggered a federal audit, and it's even wilder.